Tanso Edino Ferrari welcomes along our competitors for the Galebest and Clark St. James Tanso Racing Group GT3 Season 7 second round. Hello everyone, welcome along to the JP Broadcasting Network. My name's Alex Goldschmidt and I'm going to be joined in the booth by none other than the legend himself, Mr. James Parfitt. This circuit, just under 50 metres above sea level, measures a track length of around about 4.86 kilometres, has been around since the early 1950s and will provide a stern test over what is going to be a fantastic adventure in this part of the world. Of course, this circuit really needs no introduction, with corners such as Tamburello, Villeneuve, Torza, Acqua Minerale and Rivazza. It is going to provide a stern challenge as we are underway with our 15-minute qualifying session here at Imola, and the circuit itself really, as I said, needs no introduction. But what are the scores on the doors? Well, in Pro, it's Michael Gray took first blood last time out last week, with Ben Altrier and Jean McLuhan rounding out what was a very, very competitive battle for the final position on the rostrum, as McLuhan finished ahead of Matt Hoyland and Harry Hartley-Price, with Harry Gaylor, Stephen Donnelly, Andy White, Tim Cullimore and Peter Duke rounding out the top 10 in the pro standings at the moment. James Moore was the first winner of the season in the AM classification ahead of Daniel Poole. Jay Rooney rounded out the top 3, with Sean Clark having his best result in the last couple of seasons of this particular championship in 4th. Callum Milam, Sergio Cabral, Chris Haynes, Tim Walters, Joseph Lopez and Steve Tripler rounded out the top 10. With that being done and said, Mr. Parfitt, a very good evening to you, Squire. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderfully, dear sir. Doing very well today. I've had a busy old day, but nothing unusual for me, to be blatantly honest. But, you know, it's been good. To be fair, I like Imola. I think it's a good track. As you say, went through the big old refurb after 94, which obviously saw the incidents here with Senna and was it Ratzenberger had his own little incident here as well,
And even Rubens
Barrichello
was actually medically not cleared for that race because he had a nasty scare when his Jordan clipped a curb, went over, hit the top of the tyre barriers and rotated the Brazilian multiple times in the air. But he's still with us, good old Rubinho, but unfortunately, yes, we did lose the late Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger. But at the moment, well, Michael Gray, the good old Murica-powered Corvette, is doing pretty well in qualifying. 141.570, and he is 3.5 tenths ahead of Matt Hoyland in the 123 Lamborghini. Sam Berry in the 129 Mustang rounds out the top 3. Peter Duke, Jean McLuhan, Jean being the leading Porsche at the moment. We are still waiting for some drivers. Harry Hartley-Price at the moment down in 14th position. He's 1.5 seconds off. But we're going to have 33 GT3 cars here tonight, mate. That is going to be Imola madness, let's say.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting as well, because we had talk last, Sunday night, of doing GR86 and GT3 multi-class, which is what it was yesterday. We had 50 plus drivers, I think it was 50 or 52, something like that, in GR86s and GT3s. Now, there was talk about that happening. I know John's going to tie up short and see what the situation is with that, because that will make it quite interesting as well. One of the options was having a Pro 86 multi-class on the Sunday and an AM multi-class on the Monday, which I think would be cool combining both leagues, but we'll leave John and Sean to deal with that one. But to be fair, this league's gone from strength to strength. You know, 32 drivers on the racetrack. We had 4 more join this week as well. We had Terry Atkinson come on board as well, Shane Wells, Jordan Crawford has also joined us, and Paul West is another new one this week as well. So, you know, there's more drivers in the equation. And to be fair, the league's going from strength to strength, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can only imagine the size if we had the GR86s and the GT3s together. You know, it would be absolutely astronomical, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's something for the future. We'll leave the bosses to talk about it. It's not really our choice as much as we love it and would do quite happily multi-class. And everybody I interviewed last night said absolutely multi-class with 86s. it might be one for the future. I'm going to say good evening to Lynn Turner. Lynn, as you can see, got the initials up just for you, my lad.
There we go. So, at the moment, Michael Gray leading the way in time qualifying overall, and in the pro classification, he has 40 points to his credit already, taking the opening win of the season when we were racing last time out at Sebring. Daniel Paul leads in qualifying for the AM class, 2.2 seconds off of Michael Gray's best efforts. We do have the returning Connor Pink. It looks like Sophie's letting off the leash again tonight. I wonder what wonderful livery we're going to see on that 03 McLaren. So 31 cars have managed to set a lap time here. It's only 15 minutes for qualifying, and then we go to a, I think if I'm correct, it's a 45-minute race. They will be required to have a pit stop because everyone is limited to 50% capacity of the fuel tank on their respective vehicles.
Yep.
And that stays in force, so they can only maximally fill up to a max of 50% if they decide to go for it. But we have seen different strategies emerge. I mean, especially when you and I were with season 6 of this championship, JP, where we did see that some drivers were playing the long game. Now, with Imola, I did have the opportunity to actually get my backside behind the wheel of a sim rig last night.
No way.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, Jesus. And what did you drive? Or crash, should I say?
Well, actually, I didn't crash on Imola. That was the first circuit we did. And we were running the old Ford GT1s, if you might remember the FIA GT1 Championship. Call that car had a front end on it. And
Yeah,
that was not on iRacing, it was on R Factor 2. Yes, I did get laps, but I didn't get laps until the final lap of the race. So that for me is an achievement in itself. I was just there for the banter, and you know, it's nice to get the feeling of the direct drive, you know, the vibration of the curbs. It goes through your forearms, up your biceps, into your shoulders, and then you realise, cool, that was a bit more than I was used to back in the day. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. We did have, what was it, ice cream down to, I think it was Lucas Oil Raceway Rallycross circuit, which was hilarious. It was just like we would just have racetracks and cars decided, but yeah, we did give it the first off, and yeah, I gave as best an account of myself as I could, so kind of prepared me for tonight, really. I was like, oh, good, I'll get to race Imola with some friends, and then I get to commentate on it the night after. Happy days.
Well, absolutely, it gets you in good stead here. I've raced here a few times at Imola. I raced here in Supercars Gen 2s, I believe it was at this time. I've been here around here with GT3s and all sorts of. That's probably why I sucked. To be honest with you, probably should have concentrated on just doing one, but there we go, it is what it is. And a bit of fun. I even took the W13 round. Quite interesting. Oh. I can't say I did that well, Alex. I've got to be honest here, mate. You know what I mean? It was not Max Verstappen-esque. Let's just put it that way. To be blatantly honest, it was more like Nikita Mazepin.
Oh, Mazepin into the
yes, unfortunately. Yeah, there was a couple of times I may have, you know, I might have been better off getting a bucket and spade out as well. The cars seem really loud in comparison to talking. Can't hear you too well. Well, I've turned them down a little bit, Lynn. Let me know what you feel, and I'll turn me and Alex up just a little bit.
Just a smidgen.
Yeah, at the same time. Hopefully it might come across a little bit better there. I'm a bit surprised by that, considering nothing's changed from last week. But there we go. Onwards and upwards.
Yes, indeed. We're coming to the final few seconds here in time qualifying. Daniel Paul jumps up into the top 20, goes 18th in the Porsche on the 1:43.096. Good effort there from Daniel. There are some changes, and we do have, he's back from holiday. Last season's AM champion, Jared Love, is back, and he's gone with a good old Stang. Currently P12 at the moment. Callum Milam, however, is the only driver that has not partaken in qualifying. Checking is out for the session, and Michael Gray went even quicker than the 1:41.5 that we saw. He's just got in and put a 1:41.348 on the board. The man from Full Tilt Motorsport. Matt Hoyland, Ben Altria, Harry Gaylor and Sam Berry round out the top 5 as the session has timed out. But what a mega lap. That was nearly 6/10 quicker than the Raging Bull of Sant'Agata Bolognese that's going to line up alongside him in the form of Matt Hoyland. So this is going to be interesting. We've got V8 powered Chevy versus naturally aspirated 5.2 litre V10 Raging Bull on the outside of the front row. And bearing in mind, we have got no Ferraris on the grid, which is I'm quite surprised at, to be honest with you, because you would think, well, considering who the circuit is named after, the man who brought Ferrari to prominence and created it effectively, and his son Dino, who unfortunately was taken before his time due to a very debilitating muscle-destroying condition in his early 30s. And good evening to the horse. Hi, evening all, says the horse in chat. As we've seen the last few drivers. Yeah, who is the horse?
Who is the horse? I've never seen you before in my life, horse, and unless I've clearly not remembered. I'd like to point out as well, we had some confusion last week about Tim Walters, and there being 2 Tim Walters. It actually turns out Sean had sent me the sheet with Tim Reed, whose name had changed to Tim Walters in the second part of the overrides. And that's what the problem was. So it's actually Tim Reed who's sitting in 8th at the moment in qualifying. It is not 2 Tim Walters. That was part of the drama. I did get a lovely apology from Sean. Say, sorry, mate, I may have made a boo-boo. I can't use the exact words, but it was not made a boo-boo. There's more in it than that. So Tim Walters is in one of the Tim. There is a Tim Walters down in 23rd and 24th with Tim and also indeed Mike from Son of a Bro Racing. But it's actually Tim Reed who's up in 8th at the moment in time as well. There was a story about Son of a Bro Racing as well, but I think I may have told it last night. So if you were here and you know what the story was about where that name come from, I don't need to repeat myself. If you don't, then let me know and I will tell you again. But here's the grid.
So starting from pole position, once again, Michael Gray will line up on pole overall. He'll have Matt Hoyland alongside. Row 2, Ben Altria in the Acura and Harry Gaylor in a second of the Lamborghinis to make it into the top 4. Sam Berry and Peter Duke line up on row 3 with Ford and Acura. Jean McLuhan and Tim Reed in, it's the battle of the German brands. Porsche versus BMW with Ford and Audi with Stephen Donnelly and Andy White rounding out the top 10. Jordan Crawford and Jared Love round out row number 6. Harry Hartley-Price and Glenn Ablard row 7. Harry 7 and Tim Cullimore row 8. Craig Corish and Joe Sparrow round out row number 9, completing the top 20, and pole sitter Daniel Paul and Mark Kent in the 94 Mercedes alongside. Connor Pink starts 21st ahead of James Moore, Tim Walters, Mike Walters, Sergio Cabral, Christopher Haynes, Joseph Lopez, Sean Atkinson, Sean Clark, Terry Atkinson, Paul West, Mark Wesley, and Callum Milam. 33 cars on the grid. Good evening, Baz Racing in chat.
I've got to say, and really quickly as well, cheers, Baz, for trying to help me out with my problem earlier on. I've decided, Baz, it was Discord app. I am on the web browser and everything seems fine. My son played the computer for a good few hours and I had a go as well, and my screens did not black out once. I've stayed well out of the Discord app at the moment. I'm now on the web browser and hoping it doesn't kill all my monitors. But thank you for trying to help me out earlier on. I just had to get that out. Trying to deal with my
no worries at all. No worries at all. Thank you very much, Baz Racing, for helping Mr. James Parfitt in his hour of need, or hours of need thereof. But, well, funny enough, we have a Mustang pace car that's going to lead the field to green here at Imola. And Sophie, good evening, everyone. Looking forward to a good race. So are we, Sophie. It should be an absolute cracker here at Imola. And it is going to be a lengthy run. They're making their way through Acqua Minerale and then up through into Variante Alsta before we head down the hill into the double left that brings us onto the start-finish straight. Well, I don't know, call it a start-finish straight because there's multiple kinks in it through Rivazza at turns 18 and 19. But it is going to be a full tilt motorsport front row, funnily enough. So this is going to be really, really good. Baz Racing says, Happy days, mate. Not a problem. Here to assist. Gutting, I'm missing one of my favourite tracks. Oh, bless you, Baz. Bless you. Callum Milam did not make it into qualifying. Neither did he make it onto the grid, so we could have 32 runners and riders.
He's
Callum
in
did
pit
not
lane,
set a lap
Alex.
time.
He's in pit lane for some reason.
So whether he's had some kind of drama. But, well, we're going to concentrate on the race start as round 2 of the Galebest and Clark St. James Tanso Racing Group Season 7 of GT3 action is about to get underway. Pace car pulls into pit lane. It's Corvette versus Lamborghini on the front row. The 5 red lights very shortly will ignite here at the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari, and straight away Michael Gray is bolted like he did back at Sebring. Red lights are on. We are green here at Imola. And a great start by the Corvette, the Lamborghini slotting into second position. Altria and Gaylor looking to try and one-up each other early doors. But the case at the moment, no, Altria holding on to that third place and has started as a gap. Gaylor quite quickly as the field makes its way down to Valiente Villeneuve for the first time. Then it's going to be hard on the brakes and then turn it left into Tosa.
Yeah, great start from Michael Gray there with Ben Altria in behind Harry Gaylor there. Matt Hoyland having a nice little bit of a ding-dong further back. Peter Duke duking it out with Mr. Berry there as well. Dan Paul still leading the AM. Sean Atkinson, unfortunately, has been off the circuit. Joseph Lopez has also had drama, been off the circuit. So has Sean Clark. So there's been a little bit of tat-tat-tans going on down the back end. We will have a look at that as best as we possibly can here as we're going along. But to be fair to Michael Gray, he did what he had to do. He knew he had to get out in front here. It was imperative he got out in front, and imperative he stayed there as well. On the run now into outer before we see that run down into Ravazza. Oh! Altria's round.
Big moment there for the Acura of Ben Altria, and it's backwards into the barriers. He walloped the curb through the second phase, through the left-hander at Valiante Alta, and he's got a very, very long wait. And Sean Clark is the car that he rejoins behind, but a big moment. Code Brown over the curb, and I think he might have suffered a small smidgen of damage to the left rear, but at the front end of the field, Gray has gotten away to the point of 2.3 seconds after the opening lap. It's the battle of the Lamborghinis as Gaylor now ahead of Hoyland. Harry Gaylor started P4, now runs P2. Peter Duke up 2 spots from 6th position, now runs P4 with Sam Berry, and well, all the way up to down to Harry Hartley-Price. Now this is what happened with Sean Atkinson a little bit earlier on.
Oh, it's just on his own. Way too quick, bro. Oh, it was contact there.
It scatters the pigeons, doesn't it, on that one?
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling Sean Clark had to take evasive action here at the same time to try and avoid this. Ends up going out. Oh, he missed his braking point because of all that, unfortunately, for Mr. Clark. Up going down the order there as well. It looks like he's gone off a little bit further up. But to be honest with you, the battle of the Lambos, at least we've got one Italian manufacturer at an Italian circuit. So fair play to them guys. Matty Hoyland and Harry Gaylor, they're sporting the Lamborghini. Atkinson's back in pit lane. Daniel Paul has had some drama because he's down 12 positions all the way down here 31st. So I'm not...
Shout out to Terry Atkinson, though. Have you clocked the livery on the number 15? He's brought back the old BAR Lucky Strike livery that Jensen Button used to run in the mid-2000s when he took his opening win. But this is what's going to happen here. Daniel Paul, oh dear.
Bro, you're loose already.
Oh dear. That is Code Brown, and bang. Right side takes a wallop.
He was already loose. You saw him get loose, and then he couldn't just settle that Porsche back down again, unfortunately. So he's had to then try and get on the throttle to try and settle it. And the Porsche track matter went, no. Oh, no, sunshine. You are not doing that to me. And unfortunately, he decided that he didn't want to go and partake in that one anymore. Jordan Crawford out on the racetrack at the moment as well. One of the new drivers in this week. So it's great to see Jordan taking part. He signed up pretty much this morning did Mr. Crawford, and he's in that Porsche chasing down Andy White there in the Audi. You've got Stephen Donnelly. Now, we do have double Haribo liveries on the racetrack at the same time. Stephen Donnelly has also got the same livery, I've got to find this one now, as Joe Sparrow. So we've got to make sure we get them right.
Yes, indeed. And Joe was definitely in the thick of things back at Sebring last week, but running at the moment 17th. So, and who's leading in AM? Oh, it's the number 17 of James Moore, the BMW. So the BMW seeming to do very, very well. The man from Upshift Esports doing a sterling job. He's ahead of Connor Pink, who's gone for a more. I think that looks like an Optimum Motorsport livery he's got on there. Optimum Motorsport currently running in British GT and GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS. So good to see. Hi JP. Oh, brilliant. Hi JPB! Exclamation point. That's brilliant on that little detail there.
Yeah, that was Connor's new livery. I think he went in yesterday. I don't know if Soph, let us know if you had any partaking in that. How you getting on, Soph, anyway, being, near enough to the point of bursting and out popping a new little Connor, which is, I don't know, God help you, 2 of them. Oh dear, never mind. As we're just seeing here, Jordan Crawford go past Andy White there, and a great job there as well from Crawford over the end from HB Racing. There was somebody on the side of the circuit there just as went whizzing past, and I've got a funny feeling that may have been Mark Kent who is taken to the side of the racetrack. It was Mark Kent and his ladies off the side of the racetrack, but we've got a nice little battle here, and unfortunately Pete Duke kind of the little cork in the bottom.
Yeah. Kind of was the case last season as well for Peter, but we did see some really, really good battles from him. I think the most notable one, Sergio Cabral has dropped a couple of spots in the meantime. So he's had a little bit of a drama, but more to the point, Callum Milam did actually join after being in the pits for a minute and a half, and he's already up 3 spots, rounds out the top 30. So that just goes to show how quickly things can change, that you might not decide to go in there for qualifying, and then all of a sudden you end up sort of trying to do what you can, and he makes up 3 spots just because of the misfortune of others.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's very interesting when obviously these guys have been racing around with each other, and you've got to remember that there's a lot of close racing, and you've got 32 cars out there. Peter Duke, Sam Berry being one of them, Jean McLuhan not too far back as well. Mark Kent has had another drama, unfortunately for him. So unfortunately for Mark Kent, not going quite the way he wanted here this evening either. Sean Atkinson's trying to make a recovery with Dan Paul, Callum Milam, Sean Clark in there, Sergio Cabral, who's now coming into pit lane at the moment. But Peter Duke, that cork in the bottle, holding up Sam Berry. Sam Berry's Mustang should see here as well. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting fight, Alex, and I think it's something that we're going to get looking forward to in the future.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there's some great circuits coming up on the calendar. We're still waiting for the second half in terms of the tracks to be fully confirmed, what I am aware of as of last week when we had the season opener in Sebring. But yes, there's a lot of great tracks still to come. Still some yet to be decided. Obviously, the championship is going to run through the course of week 13 on iRacing, which is normally a week that we do. Oh, now someone just had a big old off. Now, was that one of the Acuras, I believe? I think, was that Peter Duke? Yes, it was.
What's places here?
So let's see on the replay. It's down into Aqua Minerale, I believe.
Doesn't he? On a miss, fortunately for him. Yeah, for Peter Duke, we'll see how he gets on and whether or not he's going to be able to get through. He's got himself down in 11th at this moment in time. So hopefully it might be improved. But we'll have to see how it goes here as well. And we'll see what happens. Guys continue right out. Harry Gaylor there in behind Michael Gray. There goes Mr. Atkinson again. Unfortunately, Sean Atkinson not having a good time here. Lynn, you can give him grief. I don't think you spun that amount of times when you were driving. Yep, still here, still pregnant, getting a bit uncomfortable now. I bet you are, my love. I bet you are as well. So we're going to go back to live pictures. And we're going to pick up on Sam Berry with Jean McLuhan and Tim Reed, with Stephen Donnelly in behind there as well. Going to keep an eye and see what these guys are going to be able to do, whether or not they're fighting it out or what the situation is. But obviously every time they fight, they lose time to the guys in front. So that's going to be imperative that they try and get back here and try and not fight, be blatantly honest with you, and try and make a move way forward, because the last thing they want to be doing, holding each other up. Nothing worse than that as well. On the run down now once again here into from Ravazza they go, or coming down into Ravazza they go from the Varianza outside now. Going to keep an eye and see how these guys get on coming into Ravazza at this moment in time. So hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, bear with us. Hopefully there's going to be a lot more action coming up here this evening as well from Imola once again. We're on board with Stephen Donnelly, but it's going to be about here where Matty Hoyland is chasing down Harry Gaylor.
Yeah, it is going to be a case of with this very lengthy, as I said earlier on in the show, JP, if you can call it a start-finish straight, it's just sort of like, yeah, just go as fast as you can and see if you can put a move over somebody else. But looking at the biggest movers at the minute, I think it's Mark Wesley and Terry Atkinson, who are 25th and 24th respectively. They've made up 7 and 6 places each between them. So there is still an opportunity for others to make gains. I mean, we're only, 11 minutes into this race. We've still got the pit stop phase that's going to be coming very soon, depending on, as I said, about strategy. And if some people, let's say, for example, Callum Milam was in the pits for nearly a minute and a half, and he then ended up making up a couple of places, he might make a nice little bit of profit in this race. You just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. He's got to be in it to win it. You know what I mean? And if he's not in it, well, then this is going to be a bit of a problem. That's the thing at the moment in time. They've got to make sure that they can be in it to win it, because otherwise it's going to be faster. So we'll find out how these guys get on as well. Bear with us 2 seconds, guys. We are just having a little bit of techie issues in the background, but we'll be right back shortly.
So thank you very much, folks, for bearing with us. We just had some technical issues behind the scenes, but the battle for second place is become a bit of a rip-roar. It's the two raging bulls from Sant'Agata Bolognese, the two Lamborghini Huracans of Gaylor and Hoyland. They are still very much within striking distance of each other, where it's more Hoyland trying to put the frighteners on teammate Gaylor, as they're about 3.5 tenths of a second apart. Very good running by these two, but the man on a mission, Michael Gray's 5.4 seconds up the road. There he was. Just a brief glimpse of the Corvette in shots, and yeah, there you go. It's just one of those things that sometimes there's going to be that one driver, and Michael Gray in that Corvette is like an absolute rocket ship. He's really put the afterburners on. Meantime, we have got Andrew Crawford, well, I think it's
Jordan Crawford.
Or Jordan Crawford battling away with Stephen Donnelly in one of the Haribo liveried Mustangs, and that is the battle for 7th. So Porsche versus Mustang, hopefully for Jordan. No Porsche doing Porsche things, and then they have got right behind them. Is that now? Who is that
Andy
behind them?
White.
That is Andy White in the HB Racing Audi R8, and just behind them is Jordan Love, who's now 10th place, last season's AM champion, as they go flying across the way. So yeah, all in all, the battles are really but there we go. It's just great to see these different liveries on different cars now.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's great to see here as well. I'm going to presume we're still having a little bit of issues, to bear with us for 2 seconds here. Once again, trying to make sure that everything's coming out okay here as well. And that's not just between you guys at the same time. It's between myself and Alex at the moment. A little bit of issue. But Crawford climbing up behind Donnelly now is going to try and go around the outside here at the same time. Is he going to be able to make it through Villeneuve? No. Is he going to get the run into Tozer? Maybe. That Mustang was a little bit loose.
Yeah. The Mustang can get a little bit loose on the back end, depending on how hard you want to push it. Of course, the front end's got a lot more weight down on it, as opposed to the rear end, where it's just got the back suspension, the back axle. These three really giving it absolutely everything in the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th, as they go down the hill again, out of Pitatella, down into Acqua Minerale, and they'll be going down from like 4th gear down into 2nd. You've then got to really measure when you put the throttle down hard as they go into Variante Alta, and look, you can see how hard they're hopping over the curves. Different line taken there by Andy White, a little bit more smoother, a little bit more refined in the Audi R8, and that's really given him a good run on Jordan Crawford as they go down the hill into Rivazza, and they go hard on the brakes. 2nd gear, 60 miles an hour, and then accelerates, then lift off a little bit, dab of brakes, back on the power again, and then accelerates out of the final corner. And then at over 140 plus miles an hour, 145, 150 as Crawford is in the slipstream with Donnelly. I hate to think what the telemetry is going to be saying for Andy White. He's probably going to be at the best part of 165 miles an hour as they go hard on the brakes into Tamburello. 3rd gear, 80 miles an hour. Now start to accelerate through the 2nd part of it. And meantime, James Moore for Upshift Esports still leading the way in the AM category with Tim and Mike Walters. So Son of a Bro Racing rounding out the top 3 in the AM class, with Chris Haynes and Terry Atkinson completing the top 5. We are just about a minute and a half away from, well, more than a minute and a half. We're about 5 minutes away from hitting half time in this 45-minute adventure. And what a great race it's been so far. I mean, this championship, we saw it last season. The standard has just been raised to that another level here.
Yeah, and the numbers have increased massively as well. We've got Send It Racing in YouTube chat now. I'm either guessing that's Hayden Young or Tim Probert. One of them is there saying, looks good racing, I might have to sign up. Well, Discord link down in the description below. Get yourself involved and come and have a go. This is only round 2 as well, so you've got plenty of time to get yourself into this one. You can come and have some fun with us, go on our journey this season as well. So get yourself involved. Hayden Young or Tim Probert, which one are you? Got a funny feeling, being that it's the orange, the yellow Send It logo, that's actually Hayden Young. Role of that one. I may be wrong. Got a funny feeling I'm not. There's one man that is not having a good right here as well. Poor old Mr. Terry Atkins. Not getting it completely correct, and he's end up going round him and Joseph Lopez. Contact, and
Oh,
they go. And do you know the worst thing about that as well? Poor old Joseph done it right in front of boss man, Mr. Sean Clark, who's going to sit back and go, oh, buddy.
Hey, now. Oh, and it is Hayden. It's just confirmed, by the way, for Send It Racing there, JP.
Oh, there you go. I got a funny feeling it was that, but there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not what you want to do, right in front of the bus man. That will be more than just being on the naughty step with the dunce's pointy hat on your head. It will be like, right, you're in the sin bin. No qualifying for you next time around for round 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's so many things that could be here for what could go on. It's one of them things as well that they sit back and they go, a little bit dodgy. And for now, we'll just find out how they get on and whether or not they're going to be able to make this work. But we'll see what happens here as well at the same time.
Yeah, but doing that right. I mean, let's not forget Joseph Lopez was in the wars last time out at Sebring. So it's just one of those things that you just have to grin and bear it. And unfortunately for Joseph, it has not been a case of grin and bear it. It's been a case of, right, so I'm going to get my elbows out and get a bit aggressive. And to do it in front of the boss man, whoopsie daisy.
Not a good idea, as Connor Pink has just cleared James Moore there. Little battles in the middle. Harry 7 having a good old go. He's got Harry Hartley Price in for company at this moment in time behind him. So that's a Porsche McLaren on the raid down as well. Hayden, get yourself in here, son. It's good racing. This lead's gone from strength to strength. Each year we broadcasted it as well. This is, I think, second or third season now as well, and numbers have just gone up through the roof to the point of where we've hit 33 and 4 new sign-ups this week alone. So if you want to get yourself involved, mate, come and have some fun. Reach out to Sean Clark in the Tanso Discord. Let me know. I'm sure there's a link down in the description below. Any issues, and send me a DM and I'll pop you a link. Or to Sean Clark, now going after Joseph Lopez. So the man who was a little bit naughty early on, now got the big boss man up behind him. So one of the things you don't want to do, don't take out the boss. That's probably never going to be a good idea.
No, because you probably find out retaliate. Well, they do say that retaliation is a dish served best cold. And here goes Shaw. That is a great move that he's attempted there, going through into Toza. And they've got to go up the hill now, heading into turn 9 at Pinatella. Sean Clark, that's the way to take to Joseph Lopez. This is how you overtake Sunshine. You just don't go and yeet somebody else out into the do the please open Torino into the shadow zone, which is exactly what we saw. There has been Sean Berry has decided to become the first driver with 22 minutes and 40 seconds to go to jump into pit lane. So that's going to be interesting. Only just at the halfway point of this 45-minute race. Sam Berry has pitted. Craig Corish has also pitted, as well as we ride on board with Sean Clark.
Yeah, some great action taking place here as well. I would say we'll go up to the Lamborghinis that are up front, but I've got to be honest, they haven't done anything. Mikey Dolan. Hi, JPB. Hello, mate. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us here as well. These guys really haven't done a lot, to be blatantly honest with you. They followed, very much follow my leader. Sam Berry's in, Craig Corish been in, James Moore's been in, Callum Milam's coming in as well. So we'll see how these all guys get on here as well. But to be fair, they haven't really done anything, have they? They've followed each other. They've just toodled round and poodle pipped each other. I don't really know what to say. I haven't seen 1 ounce of aggression from Matty Hoyland any more than I've seen from Harry Gaylor. And they're just trailing around each other. So, they're just trying to keep cool, I think, and keep going here as well. But, look, hey, they're happy. They're having a fun time. That's all that matters for us. However, Harry Hartley Price here got Harry 7 right in front of him. And I've got a funny feeling that is the back marker Mercedes of Mark
Ventures.
Hey, you try and say that one. Back marker Mercedes was what I was trying to get out of Mark Kent. And I was trying to remember the Kent bit, Alex, and keep it clean. No, I mean, give me a break.
Rather than having an accidental faux pas slippage of words.
Yes, exactly. But we are right. No, we're not after 9 o'clock yet. So even if
No,
I
we're
did
not
slip
after
up,
9 o'clock, but
no,
we prefer to keep our broadcasts here on JPB as PC as we can.
we can, but there has been moments
but,
where things have slipped out.
Like I dropped one last week, didn't I?
Yes, exactly. So, and there's been a lot
About
of misunderstandings about it. So, of different things that I've come out and said that sounded like something and actually wasn't something either as well. So, you know, hey, listen, we talk from the hip or from the heart. Can't think which one. But Connor Beak, Tim Waters, and Mike Waters are both in pit lane there as well. So, yeah, lots of action still coming on once again.
I just like how you just said that, from the hip or from the heart. It depends on which one is feeling right at the time. Oh, is that Craig Corish is back in the pit lane again? He's already pitted once.
I've got a funny
That's
feeling.
Weird. Unless he's got a penalty for speeding.
Yeah, but I'm surprised he didn't actually. He has got a penalty for speeding. He would have taken that off straight away. Because normally when you get a penalty for speeding, you get caught straight away on your stop. So maybe it just didn't behave itself. I know there's been occasions where the car's not fueled up. I saw one the other day, actually. Guy come out the pits and then went round the corner and the car conked out, partly due to the fact that the auto refuel had unticked itself and it never gave him any petrol. So unfortunately for him, he didn't go very far, I should say. But these guys are going very far. Mr. Harry Hartley-Price, Harry 7, Garrett Love and Pete Duke. Yeah, Duke, of course, trying to get back up after his early incident. One of the other people I do want to pick up on, Ben Altria. Now, I am surprised that Ben didn't use the opportunity to maybe look at going in pit lane a little bit earlier than some of the people in and around him. He's not the lead hitter at the moment because he isn't. Sam Berry is the lead hitter. What that means is the highest placed person who has pitted is Sam Berry. So I think a lot of what we got to gauge for is where Sam Berry's going to be. Is he going to jump Harry Gaylor? Is he going to jump Jordan Crawford? Doesn't look like he's going to get Gaylor, however, because Gaylor is on his way out of pit lane. Going to come down on the left-hand side. Where is Sam Berry? He's a long way back. Long way. There he is, just coming in the corner. He might be side by side with Jordan Crawford here.
He's pipped him. He's pipped him. I mean, literally, Crawford was accelerating, and Berry was at high speed, like about 150 plus miles an hour, heading into Tamburello. So yeah, I think if you're accelerating, and the person that's trying to one up you in terms of the pit stop phases, we've got Dan Paul and Joseph Lopez both in pit lane. Lopez was in for 17.3 seconds. Daniel Poole is in there for 21.5. As Michael Gray, our race leader and current overall points leader as well in the pro category, has just pitted. So this is probably going to give the opportunity. No, Matt Hoyland covers him off and pits straight away. Then next up, it's Tim Reed who jumps into pit lane. John McLuhan, Stephen Donnelly. Here comes a train of cars, I think. Andy White has stayed out in the Audi. Jared Love has pitted. Harry 7, Harry Hartley-Price, Tim Cullimore, Joe Sparrow, Ben Altria. They have all gone into the pit lane straight off. So
this man we need to worry about. It's where Gaylor needs to come out primarily in third place if he can. Matty Hoyland is on his way out here as well, so Gaylor has got to get on his bike a little bit, because otherwise there's going to be dramatics there. Don't think he's going to get out in front of him. I've got a funny feeling Matty Hoyland is well down the road, and he is. Harry Gaylor did not even get close to Matty Hoyland. In fact, he got 1.6 further away. He got a second and 1.3 seconds further away. Dan Berry just got Stephen Donnelly, but Donnelly got Crawford. So that's a little bit of a jump and backwards and forwards in pit lane at the same time. But for Matty Hoyland, he's ended up further away. Harry Gaylor's got further away. For Matty Hoyland at the moment, he needs to clear this car. Whoever this is, I think that's West. It is. Needs to let him through here. You're not erring on the side of graces, especially my good graces at this moment in time, Mr. West.
Yeah, he's going to have to get out of the way sharpish, because there will be blue flags showing. And still, coming out of Acqua Minerale, Hoyland's having to go to the right-hand side, and that is going to compromise his run a little bit going into Variante Alta. Gaylor's got no opportunity to get through, but might pip him coming out of the run, out of turn 15, and then down into Livazza. And, well...
that was made easier than the time before.
Yes, it was. Quite a significant amount easier. But I think sometimes, as Andy White now does pit, so that is going to drop him a little bit further down the order. So it just depends on how long his pit stop is. And it is going to be a little bit quicker, 14.3 seconds. So where is this going to put him? It is not going to put him in the podium places, as the hazard lights on the Audi flash as he hits the pit lane speed limiter 80 kilometers an hour. That is going to put him down behind Jordan Crawford. Here comes Peter Duke, and Duke is going to dive to the inside. That was easy. I kind of thought that if he'd gone out probably level with Crawford, then he might have had an opportunity to stay ahead of Peter Duke. But you're going to see here the length. Now this is like the trundle of the accelerate.
I think he could have come over. I think he could have come over now. You're out of the pit lane. Get over. I reckon he could have covered that off. I've got to believe it. I love Andy White, and he sports the JPB logo, so I can't do the guy too much. But I reckon he could have covered that off. As soon as coming out pit lane, go left, get over there, and make Peter Duke think about it. I know there was a massive overspeed, so please don't jump on me in YouTube chat. I've done thousands of these. I'm aware there was a massive overspeed, but I still think he could have made it a little bit more difficult. And that means I'm going to get a text from Andy White after this, telling me why he feels he couldn't have covered him. So there we go.
Well, I think the thing is because if you cross that exit line out of pit lane, you will straight away be hit with a slam dunk penalty courtesy of the server.
Yes.
So I think what Andy was doing was just allowing himself enough.
No, Donnelly.
It's Crawford versus Donnelly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's wide again.
Yeah, he has got.
Back end.
He's heated up the tyres there, Alex.
Oh my goodness me, Stephen Donnelly's rear axle was slipperier than a wet fish that you've actually caught, and it slipped out of your hands once you've taken it off the hook. And now Crawford is going to go for the inside move into Tamburello. That is job done, or is it? Crawford stumbling a little bit coming out of the second phase of Tamburello, but manages to park the car in front of Donnelly as they head down to Villeneuve. So it's down from fourth into second. Be very careful on the entry point. Be very careful on the exit point. Now power out of the corner for the short shoot. Up under acceleration. Hard on the brakes. Turn it left into Tozer. And that is now the move completed. Jordan Crawford gets through on Stephen Donnelly for P7. But whilst they're battling away, Peter Duke has started to close on in on them a little bit by a little bit. Not by much, but if they keep on battling away, I think Peter Duke is going to be over the back end of that Mustang of Stephen Donnelly quicker than you can say the two words bungee cord.
Agree. I do agree here. I think Peter coming at him, he's coming at him at a rapid rate of knots. Matt Oyland and Harry Gaylor are back together. The Velcro has not let them go. They are back together again, and we'll find out whether or not they're going to be able to do anything here as well. Gaylor's up one, Hoyland's not moved, and Michael Gray's not. So basically, what they are. They'll be wondering how long they're going to follow each other for, whether or not it's going to be half minutes. Now, one of the battles I do want to pick up is newly promoted Jared Love. Obviously, after the AM Championship last season, got Harry Hartley-Price. Now, Hartley-Price as well was also the champion last season, if I'm not mistaken, and my brain has not completely eluded me. So he was the champion in the pros. So for Jared Love, this is a good old little test here on whether or not he's going to have the pace to stay with the pros, because he's got a defending champion. Yes, don't get me wrong, this defending champion did not get off to an amazing start last time out. He finished fifth, down one here. But I think this is a good test for Jared Love. Got Hartley-Price as well. I'm dead. Oh my God, I'm rusty with GT3s. I need to get some races in Sean Atkins. Are you dead,
Well,
Sean?
he's dead.
He's dead,
It's a bit of an
apparently.
overstatement, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
I'm
He's
dead,
clearly
lol.
not Tom. Yeah, I'm dead. Lol, but I'm in YouTube chat, so congratulations. As well. Jesus,
You're
on
back
again.
with the living, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's find out why Sean's dead here as well. Can't actually name.
Yes, he is. Oh, it's the 286 for TS liveries. This is going to be coming out of.
Oh, it's going
This
around
is
there
going to
all
be out
day.
of Rivats. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Oh.
Hold on a sec. Oh, what he got himself up to? There you go. Hartley Price still in there. Well, I had to come say hello to the boys, didn't I? You did, Sean.
Good man.
Good man.
Good man. Good
I'll
man.
send
10
you
minutes to go.
I'll send you the money later.
Well, 10 minutes remaining here in Imola for round 2 of the series, and we've got the outgoing AM champion of Season 6 versus the defending Pro champion of Season 6. So, Mr. Hartley Price getting a little
He's got him.
frisky. Oh, mistake there by Love, and that could be Hartley Price round the outside. Oh, he made it through. Brilliant movement by Harry Hartley Price. Absolutely stellar. And is that who I think it is behind? No, it isn't.
Harry 7.
It's Harry 7. Harry 7. And then you got Glenn Abelard, Ben Altria, who has made his way up to 15th in the class after that nasty moment early doors through the second part of Variante Alta. He's been been on the comeback train, has Ben, but yeah, that was beautifully timed. Stumbled by Love, and Hartley Price went, hold my Vino Rosso, and threw it around the outside.
Yeah, Harry 7. Gave yourself with a flash in sunshine. Racing. Not down a park. Behave yourself on that one there as well. Just overtaking Mrs. Garrett Love. You're talking about defending outgoing AM champion. Going to matter what you do there as well. We'll find out. But did you notice, this is one of the things that a Mustang that people don't like about this car. If you can control this part of the car, you are incredibly quick. When the back end starts sliding, getting it under control, tough. Cooling the tyres down after is the tougher bit, because then you're fine for the next couple of corners. You're all out of sorts, and that's what happened to Jared Love. He was out of sorts. Then going into the next one, he hadn't stopped or dropped the temperatures in him, and then he was well out of sorts by the time he went down into Tamburello. And that is where Mr. Hartley Price said, well, if you're going to go and do that, I'm going to go and have you. And that's what he did. But once that Mustang gets out, you've got to try and cool it down. And if you can't cool it down, well, you're going to be in trouble. So there you go. That's the situation in and around the Mustang. Now, I do want to pick up on Jean McLuhan, partly because we've actually got Tim Reed tucked in, coming after him here in the BMW and the Porsche. So Jean doing a great job in that Porsche at the moment, sitting in 3 or 4 up for 3 places. So a stunning run from Jean, but it'll be interesting to see how he gets on here with the ever-looming Scotsman of Tim Reed in behind him.
Yeah, Tim Reed doing a really, really good job at the moment. John McLuhan managed to, after that great battle we saw for P3 at Sebring, is trying to hold on tooth and nail. The BMW is stronger overall as an all-rounder in terms of GT3s, whereas the Porsche, known for its handling characteristics through certain parts of the circuit here at Imola, the BMW is going to be stronger in a straight line, and he's going to get that toe coming out of the final corner at Rivazza. So the gap now 0.58 of a second. I think really Reed needs to be within sort of 4 tenths or slightly less to see if he can close that gap. If he was like 3 to 4 tenths, then I would say yes, there's an opportunity. It gets to about 4.5 going through into Tamburello. So it's just about Tim Reed just trying to carry that speed through the corners, because that's where the Porsche's strength really lies. So you get the advantage as an all-rounder, you get that little bit of straight line speed advantage, but nothing can handle mightier than the 992 GT3R.
Yeah, I think this is the problem as well with it. the Porsche is great, but at the same time, you just don't know what you're going to get. For 49 laps, you could drive the Porsche the same way, and then on lap 50, it'll just kill you. You know what I mean? And if there was more predictability in the car, you'd be able to handle it. And Sean McLaren, don't get me wrong, it might be just the fact I suck at driving, Alex, right? And that could be the problem. But I think Jean's done a great job there. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing if he can hold this in. He's only got 5.5 minutes to go here once again. Jean, don't make excuses. To be fair, I do not like this track. It just doesn't click with me, says the man who said he's stuck in GT3 and he needs to go faster. Is it really the track, Alex?
Well, who knows? we'll put it out to the masses there. You know, answers on a postcard, please. Rather than sort of like trying to get into that conversation, because we're coming to the end of the race itself. You know, and there are some great battles still to be had, as John McLuhan has gapped Tim Reed by nearly half the distance that he did on the previous tour. So gap now up to just over 9 and a bit tenths, but looks like we've got the Mustang of Berry not too far behind either. So there is an opportunity here whereby some of the drivers can close on in.
I just want to see, is this going to happen? Or I'd be interested to know, if you guys are watching this, what was the strategy, Boylan and Gala? Are they just literally following each other? Or are they actually going to make an effort to overtake? Because I don't think I've seen one aggressive situation here from Harry as well. They're not. I was just checking if they're in the same team. I don't believe they are. But at the same time, I'm not really seeing anything. This backmarker rate battle is going to cause a problem at some point, and it's going to cause a problem for Gala. He is going to get caught up behind it. This is why, and people will hate me for this, but this is why it should be a remove yourself from the situation blue flag, because this is the situation now we've got here, but I'm never going to hear the end of it from the likes of Craig Corish, who is unfortunately in a battle. I believe that's Sergio Cabral in front, so they're battling for position, but this is the situation all day, every day, and yeah, well, there we go. Grew up on F1, grew up on the old get out the way blue flag scenario.
A la Sebastian Vettel. Blue flags, blue flags.
Yep, move.
But what if, there was a sharp intake of breath from your good self. What's been occurring?
Oh no, that was my best German impression of Sebastian Vettel. Move. I don't know. See, oh, suck. On accent, so I try not to do them. You know.
Well, I mean, Sebastian's English is more neutralised his English accent now. Over the year, you know, when he started doing it, there was a little bit of German zing in there, but it sort of, as he was working at Red Bull, it sort of kind of got more naturalised, I think is the term I would actually use, and that's a long word for a Monday night broadcast, isn't it? Naturalised. Yeah, well, it didn't sound as Germanic as it did when we first heard him speak English. No,
I agree with that. As time has gone on, it has definitely improved. I was going to kind of say climatized to his surroundings, maybe. Oh, I don't know. I think we're having a bit of a waffle here, to be blatantly honest with you.
We always do.
Yeah, Michael Gray's on his run round Ravazza now. Are we going to be close to the final lap? He's got about 12 seconds, I believe. We are going
to be down to the wire on this, but the start-finish straight isn't that far. He's going to cross it now, I believe.
144. No. He has got time to make this the final lap.
2 laps left. So we're on now lap 26 out of what will be 27 laps here at Imola. But the way he's just, again, just like we saw at Sebring, he really has just shown a clear pair of heels to everybody else, and he's up the road by 7 seconds. I mean, after the pit stop phases, his lead was about 12, so he knew that he didn't have to go and push 10 tenths once again. It was just more a case of just managing the situation. And when we go to round 3 next week, I'm going to say that there is a foreboding sense that this man could have 3 wins on the bounce and 3 pole positions to boot by the time the race finishes next week.
Yeah. No, I think you are right. I think Michael Gray is very, very difficult to stop here. Very difficult. You can see Harry Gaylor in that back marker situation has just lost 1.79 seconds. Not happy. Daniel Paul has just overtaken Callum Milam. Well, didn't do it cleanly, mind you. Gave him a little bit of a bump on the way through. Daniel trying to recover from his earlier incident. He was leading the AMS. He's now not leading the AMS. Darren Love now has lost time to Hartley Price, but he's now got Glenn Ablard tucked in right behind him here as well. Where is Michael Gray? He can make this. He just is down here. Sorry, I feel like I'm at a dramatic moment of EastEnders.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 lap to go. White flag is out. I literally crossed it. What was it?
2 seconds to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So he did a 1:41.5. So, yeah, 2.5 seconds remaining, and yeah, he's now put it on. So the timer has hit 0. And the way things are standing, Michael Gray is due to pick up his 2nd win of the season. James Moore will become our 2nd different winner of the season so far, after dramas hit Daniel Paul, who will be at the moment, well, he's currently 6th at the minute in the AM class. But, well, once again, it's been nothing but supreme and outstanding commitment by this man here. Just has put a foot wrong at all whatsoever, and just goes to show that when Joseph Lopez, don't do that to the race leader. I'm sorry, you just need to watch out for those blue flags. Joseph obliges and keeps out the way as Michael will put the car through turns 14 and 15 at Variante Alta. Just the run down the hill through in towards the that's for the final attempt of the double left-handers here at the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari at Imola. And Michael Gray once again leads from lights out, 2 checkered flags, 2 pole positions, make that 2 victories for the man in the Corvette.
A great win from Michael Gray. 2 out of 2 for him. Stellar run from him. James Moore should hold on to the AMS. He's got Tim Waters further up the road. Matty Hoyland, after his lifelong follow the leader with Harry Gaylor, they come over the line, funny enough, following each other. So they haven't really made any impact. Sam Berry is not going to get Tim Reed on the way down to the line. Darren Love is definitely not going to get Glenn Ablard after making that mistake on the way down to the line. And James Moore is chasing down Connor Pink.
Yep, and James Moore will pick up the win here in the AM category. Daniel Paul took first blood in the number 82 Flatline Racing Porsche, but Upshift Esports will become top of the pops here at Imola as the number 17. James Moore started from the outside, well, finished 2nd. Oh, bit of a wobble there from behind, but James Moore picks up the win in the AM class. 2nd different winner, 2nd different race here in Season 7. Moore is triumphant here in Italy.
Yeah, Tim Waters comes in behind him there as well. We're going to have Tim and Mike, a double podium for both of them there as they come over the line for the Waters brothers, I should say, try and say that fast, as they come over the line as well. Chris Haynes grabbing 4th, Sean Clark managing to start up 6 places, getting 5th, so a great run from him. Dan Paul batted his way back to 6th in class with Callum Milam finishing 7th in class. I believe Paul West has already finished, so Callum will be the last one here as
well. Callum Milam will come across the line in P7, but it is Michael Gray and James Moore that are your race winners in the Pro and AM category here at this fantastic circuit at Imola. So more to the point, it is job done. That is it. 45 minutes of action completed at this particular point. And what can you say? The backdrop of this fantastic circuit. Here are your results. It's Michael Gray from Matt Hoyland and Harry Gaylor who ran at the top three in pro. Jean McLuhan one step away from the rostrum again ahead of Tim Reed, Sam Berry, Jordan Crawford, Stephen Donnelly, Andy White, Harry Hartley Price, Glenn Ablard, Jared Love rounding out the top 12 overall in his pro debut in the series ahead of Tim Cullimore, Joe Sparrow, Harry Seven, Ben Altria, and Connor Pink rounding out the first clump of drivers in the pro category. And it was the BMW of James Moore from Upshift Esports that takes the win in the AM classification, finishing all the way down in 18th position. And then looking a little bit further down the finishing order in terms of the AM category side of things. Well, Tim Walters takes 19th and with it takes second ahead of Peter Duke and Mike Walters, the two Son of a Bro racing drivers in taking, well, in the both the Porsche and the Acura running at the top 20. Then it's Chris Haynes, Sean Clark, Daniel Paul, Callum Milan, Paul West, Joseph Lopez and Craig Corish that round out a big consistent amount of this grid. And then after that, we've got Sergio Cabral, Terry Atkinson, Mark Wesley, Mark Kent, and Sean Atkinson rounding out the finishing order.
Great racing, no? Absolutely stunning race. Love that bit there as well. And we're going to start off with the AM winner. Here is in one, Mr. James Moore for you.
Just turn up.
Mr. Moore, good evening.
Hello, Alex. How are you?
All good, all good. And
I'm fine as well, James, by the way. Just
winner
you know.
of round 2 of the series after drama hitting Daniel earlier on in the race. You must be feeling good after that one.
Do you know what? I'm feeling really relieved now, but seeing Dan spin out was gutting. I thought, do you know what? We're going to have a good scrap here, and it didn't happen. So I'm really hoping that we can have a proper good, battle at Monza.
Yes, indeed. But still, nice to have a different circuit from Sebring to race around. What were I think it was going to be quite close between you and Tim Walters, the leading Son of a Bro racing entry in the 67. It wasn't that much between you at the end.
No, I used Connor as a bit of a draft for the majority of the race because I knew that at some point Walters was going to start catching up on me, and towards the end of the race, that is exactly what happened. So I'm kind of glad that the race finished when it did.
Exactly. And now that you've taken a win, that's going to give you a nice little bit of boost ahead of Monza next week. Of course, another very different circuit, more power related. You're going to be on the throttle for more than 70% of the time. How do you feel about that one in the Beamer?
Well, I don't think the Beamer's got that sort of top end go to it. So I think it's just going to have to be a case of trying to find somebody to draft for the majority of it and see where we end up.
Well, congratulations on the win tonight, James. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
My fiance Shelley. She's the one that really supports me with these ridiculous things, all these financial things, But no, she's absolutely great. So I really appreciate what she does for me.
Brilliant. James Moore, our winner for round 2 in the AM class. We'll see you next week at Monza for round 3.
Thank you very much.
All right, great to hear from James Moore. Let's bring in our runner-up, the leading Lamborghini, bringing a bit of Italian pride to Full Tilt Motorsports in the process. Matt Hoyland joins us. Matt, it was a bit of a follow the leader situation with you and Harry when Michael just bolted off into the stratosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Michael needs his own class. He's he's a little bit too fast for everyone, I think. But yeah, just incredibly close between myself and Harry. It was I think we both had to be on it the entire time there, just to stay with each other.
I think also in some respects we can take this as a look at the bigger picture, because there may be a time that even someone like Michael could have a stumble and then all of a sudden it's an opportunity to go for a win. But there's also that good old phrase, consistency wins you a championship, isn't it?
Well, this is it. I mean, all I can do is get the best I can out of myself and the car and just hope for that outside chance of Michael stumbling. I mean, if he doesn't, there's no shame in losing to someone that fast. But I think really the main aim for me is to try and look for best of the rest, get up there, get podiums regularly, and just see what happens come the end.
I mean, the Lamborghini's going to have a lot of strength in those straight line parts of Monza next week, especially when we go to that fantastic circuit, the Temple of Speed, on the 2nd of June. You looking forward to that one?
Yeah, to be honest, Monza's not really a track that I've done that much of, especially in GT3s. So I'm very familiar with it from the days of F1 games gone by. But yeah, I think I need to get myself up to speed a little bit. But it's more of an opportunity for some overtaking than you have at Imola. Obviously, there's only really maybe 2 or 3 places here that you can get a move done pretty easily. But yeah, it's much more fair game at Monza.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for having the chat to us post-race, Matt. Anyone you want to give a shout-out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll just give a shout out to both of the guys that were JSD cars, Stephen and Joe. They kindly invited me to the chat, so I wasn't on my own this evening. Otherwise, big thank you to Sean for his organisation of this league. It's been great fun so far.
Brilliant. Matt Hoyland, our runner-up in the Pro Class. Thanks for talking to us, Matt. We'll see you next week for Monza.
Cheers, guys. Catch you later.
Well, on that note, that wraps up the interviews that we've had here this evening. JP, another classic race here at Monza. Monza, that's next week. Imola, Dentures, Goldschmidt. But 33 cars on the grid. Just goes to show that Galebest and Clark St. James GT3 Season 7 is on the rise, with more people taking up the opportunity to join in. And where better a place to go than next week, the Temple of Speed, Autodromo Nazionale Monza.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me now. Can you hear me? No? Can't hear me. Maybe they can't hear me. I don't know. I can hear myself, so hopefully they'll be able to hear me here as well. Once again. So yeah, looking forward to Monza here, guys, and stay tuned because it's going to be an absolute dramatic moment, I'm sure, from everybody, but we'll see how it gets on once again. Alex, can you hear me? Can't hear me.
I can hear you because I've had to engage the volume on the on the YouTube stream.
Well,
But
there
more
you
to the
go.
point, folks, that is it for live coverage of the Galebest and Clark St. James Season 7 Round 2 extravaganza here at Imola. We're going to head to Monza in 7 days' time for the Temple of Speed. You won't want to miss it. Same time, same place next Monday. And at the moment, if you want to head over to any further racing here on JPB, it's Radical SR8. It's currently underway. Round 2, Season 4 at the Glen. We've got the FDL Super Formula Lights Championship going to Daytona for Round 8. The BSC Summer Series heads to Charlotte Motor Speedway later on this week. Sports Car Association Americas heads to Detroit Grand Prix for their penultimate round of the season, and there's still plenty more to come. Until next time, race hard, race fair, and if in doubt, well, you better go flat out. We'll see you next time. Good night.